Today on Drawbli,
Ben is drawing skulls.
click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below with skulls.
With skull. Okay. Or other ideas of things we could draw or paint.
Share your skulls.
Share
online
your skulls.
using the hashtag Drawbli because we want to see them.
So if you guys didn't check out the last video, Abby sketched, painted, drew all the skulls, and now it's my turn to attempt some skulls.
Yep, it's your turn. Can you do it?
I can, but to what ability I cannot speak to. So I did something differently than you. I started out by first drawing on top of each skull to like do a little outline of some of the different shapes.
Yeah.
And then I went in and did like my little sketch of each skull. And I tried, I didn't do any rendering like you did. You got all fancy with your skulls. I just tried to do the main shape for the eyes, the nose, the temple, and underneath the cheekbone, and then the line of the mouth.
That was the right way to go. Like, there is so much to be said for keeping it simple, especially while you're learning, versus just jumping ahead and jumping ahead and jumping ahead.
Well, I did twice as many as you, so I think we probably ended up doing just about the same amount of work since you worked on your
you
skulls
traced
quite a
them
bit
all
more.
and then drew them. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you painted a lot more from memory at the end, didn't you?
Not a ton more, but we'll get to that. We'll get to my terrible skulls at the end. I really like this exercise a lot, actually, and it's something that I will probably do again from memory and then like go back and reference and try to like do again. I'm really excited to get in and watch some of the additional information from the Ahmed Al-Duri class, Meds Map, which is what Abby and I are currently going through. This is one of the assignments in that class, painting a ton of skulls. And he even recommends, hey, you know, go in and paint each of these skulls multiple times. Abby and I only painted these skulls like 1 or 2 times each. But he's like, paint each one like 8 times. Like, you're gonna like get really good at painting the head and understanding the head, but also really good at just drawing and painting like forms in perspective in 3D. Like, that is so important. And there was my little face that flew by. You didn't see, I drew like a little face next to that because holy crap, these ones were really hard.
They are so hard. Yeah, this weird perspective. But hey, that's the thing to master, is the untraditional perspectives. Because anybody and everybody paints people at 3/4 view.
Oh, yeah.
Only you will be painting them at like 2/8 view or something.
2/18 perspective.
2/18 and a 10-degree angle. A little pitch and yaw.
I tried to add in a little more shading, and the more I did this, the more I started adding in that side plane to the head around the zygomatic, the cheekbone behind the eye there, how that like dips in behind the temple.
Yeah.
And that is something that I do a little bit in sculpting, but it's also a technique that people do in from the Loomis head method. You know, we've painted heads in the past, and people have said things like, "Oh, you guys should start with something like the Loomis method," but we're just not good at drawing and painting. I don't think like people understand how bad we are at painting and drawing. It's like we're still learning a lot, and that is why we're, you know, the whole point of Drawbli is that we're, you know, here to get better at art and have fun while doing it.
We're learning. We'll always be learning, though. That's the beauty of art, is you get to learn forever and always. What did you think of painting like the tooth area?
I just did kind of like this little pull out. I didn't paint any teeth or anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't do any crazy rendering like you were doing.
Yeah.
You got all fancy with your. I did not get fancy.
What do you think it'll be like when you do paint the teeth?
I think it'll be difficult.
Okay. It is. I don't know how to hint at them without getting into way too much detail, but I love watching you do this, though. I feel like I'm learning skulls a totally different way just watching. I'm picking up on what you're putting down here.
Oh.
Yeah, like seeing how you're handling the cheekbone area, which is an area I really struggled with. I really like that because you're very consistent with how you render it or create it, and I think that's really helpful for me to see. So this is really cool. Do you feel like you learned anything from watching my skulls?
Oh yeah, I think that's, I mention this all the time. One of my favorite things about Drawbli is getting to watch, not just my stuff back, but watch yours as well and see how like you handle things, especially when we do something like this where we're painting the exact same thing. And for people who are watching, if they, were to do an exercise like this or do this exact exercise, I think it's helpful to see anybody do this just to see how they would tackle it. And, not always seeing somebody do something perfectly is the exact help that you need. Sometimes seeing how like somebody messes something up, like I'm doing here, can be just as, equally helpful. So you're like, oh, avoid that specifically.
Yeah.
Or, oh, they keep making the jaw too short and squat. That is something that I will not do in my art. I will pay attention to that. And I did that here from this perspective, making those jaws real squished.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my finished skulls here at the end.
They look
so
good.
many. Yes.
I like them.
Lots of repetition.
Yes.
And now some skulls from memory.
The best song ever.
Abby's favorite song. This was tough.
Yeah.
This was very difficult. I think I spent a little more time on these, but like not too much more than what I was doing previously. I started with a sphere, or like a little egg shape, threw a center line on it, and I was like, whichever way that goes, that's where my skull's going.
I think it's funny that you've ended up with two of the very same angles that I used too, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Looking up, looking down.
Yeah, for the most part. So both of these are 3/4 angles so far. So, I'm not being super creative with my angles, and even this one. I think it's just a good angle to show a lot of information from. You can see the side, you can see the front, you can see everything. In terms of like referencing for 3D, that's typically what I would recommend, grabbing a 3/4. So.
Yeah, no, these are looking really good. I feel like these would be in good place. Like if you had to draw a scene and it had a lot of skulls laying around, you'd be like, I got this.
I can draw a bunch of shitty skulls.
A bunch of skulls. But that's the thing, if it's a big scene, you don't need a lot of detailed skulls. You just need skulls, right?
Do you like my happy skull?
I do. I like his eyes.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I like this one.
Yeah, they're all super rough. So what you're supposed to do, what I would like to do is go back in now and try to go back over top of them and like fix them up.
Did you paint this one upside down?
I did it first, as you will see here. In a moment, my brain says, flip, must flip and try to understand.
You did a really good job though for like painting it entire. I don't know if my brain could compute that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know 3D, so...
I know thing right side up look the same upside down. Just gotta reverse it.
But again, look, another 3/4 angle, just tilted up more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I didn't want to do it straight on, and I didn't want to do it in profile. I mean, I could have tilted it like a little more in one of those directions, but meh.
Meh.
3/4
is a cool way to go. I think it's better to know how to do it 3/4.
I believe this is my last skull. I might have spent a little more time on this one. I didn't spend a ton of time on any of these. I think the whole point is repetition anyway, to like get in and try to see what works, try to see what doesn't, and also try to find your habits. And watching this back, it has been very helpful for me to see a lot of the habits that I do. One that I mentioned just a moment ago, making that jaw way too short. I need to elongate that quite a bit.
Elongate the jaw. Well, now you know, and that's a good thing to know about, is your short jaw syndrome. But maybe you'll like characters with shorter jaws more when you go to start creating characters from
I should lean into it.
Yeah, it's your style.
It's my art style. It's just my art style, guys.
That's how you find your style. Maybe it'll look cute in real life. One more, huh?
This is my last one.
This is
probably.
your last one, probably.
You're like, please stop. I've seen enough. I've seen so many skulls.
It's cool to watch you improve though. Like and now you're adding like the white. You're getting some rendering in on the bones.
On the bones, yeah.
Yeah,
Getting
that's
that
cool.
bones. In.
I like the color choice. It reminds me of like painting on like toned paper. It's a very nice look, and it really lends itself well to adding white like you did there.
Yes. I'm very good at choosing my toned paper color. Thank you.
Yes.
If I did one thing right in this exercise, it was that. Well, if you want to see more skulls, you should click that subscribe button. But I'm actually just kidding because I don't think we'll do another skull video anytime soon.
And comment below with ideas of what we can draw to improve as artists.
And this is the part where we say,
share your art on Instagram with the hashtag Drawbli. Goodbye.
goodbye.
I like the white one the best.
Wow.
You should go back and do a pass of adding white on all of them.
That would take so much time.
You've learned so much. Dedicate to your art, Ben.
I'm not dedicated at all.
Dedicate to your art.